Let me try again.
It's weird. It like pops up to my screen and then it deletes and it comes back in.
Let me try it this way. I wonder if it's not maybe connection on her end or something. Yeah, unfortunately, won't let me either, John.
Teresa Barrett. Do you know her last name?
Oh,
Who did I mute or did I?
you muted yourself.
Oh, you can't hear me?
No, we have enough. We should have enough
You
room.
can hear me, Zach? Okay, thanks, Morningstar. Thanks, Zach. Hey, Zach.
Upgrade.
Hello.
Okay. Thanks, Ane. I see the name in there now in case anybody else wants it. I don't know if you,
John, I like your cool background. That's new.
thanks, Zach. Yeah. I had talked about that last or a couple weeks ago, and I got this from a time Weaver therapist over in England, um, Bridge, and she's actually my trainer. And on the picture here on the left, this is signifying somebody like in an emotional state or contracted, in pain, and there's the world all around her with its energy wanting to try and support her. You know, and I don't know I'm saying it's a her, it could be a guy too. I think maybe I'm saying a her because it looks like a female on the right side. Anyways, so this individual is constricted and they're closed in their own thoughts and they've created a bubble around them where the universal creator energies aren't able to penetrate them because they've shut themselves off.
Mhm.
And I thought that was just a very beautiful thing. And then with the help and the support of Healy over here, as I move over here, we now have the individual moving back out, connecting to the frequency field, both through, you know, the Healy helps support them and they actually connect to the energies that are always out there and available to us. And my sense is that, you know, there's people that don't even need Healy because they're able to actually do the work of Healy. But Healy is a tool that helps supports us in this way.
Yes, that makes sense.
I really like that the picture over there to help demonstrate that.
Yeah,
Well,
that's awesome.
okay, let's see. This is so weird. It's got a bias on Teresa. If somebody wants to, Ane, did you say Teresa's might be connected with you?
Yeah, she's in my group and she's in, she just texted me and I told her to turn it off completely and try to go back in.
Okay. There, looks like it's working. It says joining now, so maybe we
Yeah.
got her. Who knows? Kind of weird. A bad link. All right. It says she's joining, but it's still hanging her up. Maybe she's got a slow internet. So, anyways, Ane, it's not kicking her back out in case she texts you. It's showing up here on my screen that it's attempting to bring her in. Okay, I got Alvin coming in. All right. Well, I think if you want, if there's certain subjects or that you're interested in, type it in the chat because this is obviously your little bit. So I'll introduce, you know, myself, and then I'll let the other co-host, tri-host introduce us out of the amigos. Nice to see our buddy Zach back here. So, anyways, I'm John Miser. Been involved with Healy since September. A lot of you know me already. So, and I've acquired a couple time waiver machines, and I've been busy exploring those. And you know, pretty soon I'll be able to start sharing some more information on those. But and I've just been really loving my Healy. I've just had so many stories. So But anyways, I'll just kind of pause it there and I'll let Paul, you want to go next? Since you look like you're next on the screen on my screen. anyways.
Good evening to everyone here. My name is Paul Butera, and I have been using Healy for about the same time John has. My background is a little bit different. I use Healy for a healing purpose in my body that I've dealt with for about 7 years, and I was very skeptical coming on. I've never heard of frequency healing before. Healy had my attention very, very early on, in about end of August when I first joined up. I went from and John knew me before and after, and I am a different person now than I was, than I was less than a year ago. And I think it's such a testament to what the Healy can do. And I've been in love ever since. And John and I are pretty close. We work on the time waiver together, and we kind of geek out on all things frequency, but it is a fun thing to learn more and more about, and just the power that each of us holds as far as the God-given power of really healing ourselves through frequency is just absolutely crazy. So that's what drove me to do this, and I continue to have fun every day talking to people about it. So
Thanks, Paul.
All right, Zach, go ahead. You can introduce yourself there.
So I'm Zach Wright. I live in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I've been on a hiatus. I work in agriculture, so I've been on the road a lot the past, just about the past month. And so oftentimes I don't know where that's going to land me on Thursday nights. So it's good to be back. I've been using Healy since late June of 2020. It's changed my life. It's changed my family's life. I too have, I guess, the moral obligation to share it with people. My wife Autumn and I, we do Healy together. We went to a holistic health fair in Des Moines, Iowa over the weekend, where we got to share it with, several hundred more people. So like I was telling John earlier this week, what we've started to do is kind of lead. When people come by our vendor booth, we kind of lead with the notion of we're here from about 4 or 5 years in the future. And then we introduce Healy. So as all of us can share in our experience, there's definitely something to frequencies. And there's just something so user-friendly about Healy that's wonderful. And I'd like to think that, and it's speculated that in the not too distant future, 3 to 5 years, the majority of people will have such a device with them. So this is exciting times. So thanks, John and Paul, for hosting this every week. It's good to see a lot of familiar names. And yeah, I like to be a fly on the wall and learn from you guys, from all of you. So thank you.
Got it.
exactly.
Well, go ahead, Paul. Did you say you have something?
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. So we're here to kind of support you guys also. I'd like to see some questions over there. I got one from Morningstar, and I'll address that here in just a second. My plan was maybe to show another demo on this, and then to see what other kind of questions we have to help people get the vibrations going. I will share this, like Paul had said. Paul and I've really kind of even become closer with this frequency device.
Oh, yeah.
This past weekend, I went into the middle of Wisconsin, and there's another frequency device. It's called Radionics, and these guys do stuff, and it looks like something they built out of a Shack Electronics store, over there, and it's really wild. And I was hearing lots of testimonials with what they did with it, and it was doing some things different than Healy, which was, I just want to learn about it to see what else I could know. But what was on there were these people that were radionics users, but the workshop was 3 different individual healers. And these were healers that didn't even need a tool. And that really intrigued me. And so I want to share a testimonial there that just kind of blew me away. And I'll find a way to share some of this guy's work with you that we did. But they did a thing, and I know this is kind of off Healy for a second. I'll just take a moment and come back. But I just wanted to share with you. I just think it opens your possibility. This guy did a thing called polarity therapy. And polarity therapy was he just knows that the body has plus and minus energy. So your left hand on the palm is negative and your right is positive. Your index fingers are negative. Your middle fingers are positive. And so everybody got a big kick out of that when they, are flipping the bird going, hey, you're actually giving them a positive sign. So I know some of you know this. I hurt my arm and I've been struggling since January to get it back. I've done healing. I've gone to massage therapists. I've gone to chiropractors, acupuncture. I've been trying to get my arm back. And what was told to me was that my bicep tendon had fallen out of the little groove and had slipped out. And so, I went to a special chiropractor, said that's all he really did. He could just push that sucker back in. And it felt like, oh yeah, maybe it did. But I couldn't lift my arm. I'll stand up so you can kind of see. That was about it. That was about what I was kind of remembering. And then it just hurt too much. So anyways, this guy's name is Morris Hartman. And Morris comes up to me and he goes, oh, no. What happened is I can see it, John. Your muscle separated from that bit of the tendon. And he said on the top of your bicep there, and I'm not trying to show if I got any big arms or anything here, but right about there was a little bump. And he goes, that's the muscle. So he goes, here's what we're going to do. If you think about, if you pulled the string out of a pair of sweatpants, you tie a knot and you kind of inch it all the way through, right? So what he does here is using magnets, and he goes, I'm going to take my index finger, which is negative. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to take my positive finger. I'm going to put it just behind the little bump. Inch, inch, inch. I can kind of feel it going up. Boom, 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 boom. Gets it up there to where it attaches. And then he does a double positive, puts it on there. And he goes, okay, you're good. It's healed now. Well, I still have some pain, but I couldn't do that before. It would hurt too much. And so now I've been able to kind of use my Healy. I've been using the regeneration program on there to help speed the healing now that I've got the muscle and the tendon connected. So it's like, the Healy is it's like I have many arrows or quivers now to support me, and one of them really being Healy. I still like my massage people. I still like the chiropractor, but all of a sudden I just found something out called polarity therapy with this guy named Morris Hartman, and he did some other amazing things. So I'm not going to go into that here, but if you want to contact me later, I will talk to you about that. But anyways, that was the part with the Healy that I found. Now I'm able to use Healy to start mending and regenerating that muscle and tendon, which it has those vibrations. So I'll pause for a second, see if there are any questions, and then maybe we'll move on to Morningstar's question. Paul or Zach, can you guys? No?
Nope.
Okay. So Morningstar has the question with what I sent out. Will the Fountain of Youth be added to all program levels? I know I was pretty excited when I read that and was really happy to send that email out to everybody about, all this vitality, rolling back the clock 10, 20 years, having the muscle regeneration, more testosterone, estrogen for the men or women, and slimming effects, more vitality. I mean,
Question real quick, if I can interject. John, is this the revitalization page of programs, or is this something different?
well, this would be something different. It's because it's April 1st. It was my version of an April Fool's.
Very nice.
People
Very nice.
with that
It
program.
sounds like the biorevitalization, in a sense, the stem cell page of programs, the Benjamin Button program. So I was like, oh, wow, I'm really out of the loop. You got me.
I
Gosh.
just wanted to see, have a little fun with everybody here.
Thank you. Well, okay, good.
So And it was John having a little fun lightening up our user group here, so maybe I get thrown out and somebody else does it. But
Io.
I haven't done an April Fool's in a long time, and I thought, well, fountain of youth, frequencies, it kind of sounded good, right? Anybody get caught by that besides Zach and Morningstar?
I think we all might have, because I was going to ask where that email went because I sure enough didn't see it. So
I'm so far out of the loop right now. I mean, I completely bought it, hook, line, and sinker. So
all right, that's
let me give you my 16-digit code and expiration date and security password. Just take me. Gosh.
Speaking of emails, though, just to touch on one that came out from last Frequency Friday. Did everyone read through their email, understand it, and the changes coming forth with Healy in the next few months? Does anyone have any questions on it? Or we can go through it as well. I think one of the big ones, I think the soonest change that we're going to be seeing is the ability to change the intensity level on our Heelys back to where they were originally. Because when Healy originally came out, the intensity level was a little high for some people, so they backed off that, so people didn't feel those microcurrents as strong. For some people are more sensitive to it. But now they've given us the ability come April 15th to actually reset that level and either make it stronger or make it less strong, depending on who we are and how sensitive we are to microcurrent. So that's a really big deal. I personally, I like to feel them. I think, John, I know we talk about this all the time. It just, whether it's better for us or not better for us, I just personally like to feel of the energy flowing, through my body, and that's just me personally, though.
So we got some, Teresa has to go through it. So from a user point of view, Zach or Paul, or Zach, if you want to take a stab at the Healy coil, what that might be doing for some folks if they're not aware of what that. I want to really kind of focus it on the user thing instead of any of the business aspect. So from customers being curious what a Healy coil, as we understand it, because we don't have it yet, but you want to kind of share your understanding, Zach, of what the Healy coil will do for us?
Amplify the vibration, and that's completely my layman's understanding of it. I actually was chosen as one of the 300. So right now I'm waiting on my Healy coil to arrive. So hopefully next week I'll have some more feedback. But as a part of this beta test study, I can't use a Healy for 14 days. So they really want to stress me out before I do go ahead and use the coil. So I will have a lot more feedback from an experiential standpoint in the weeks to come. But as of right now, I'm scalar waves, these are some of the things, bifurtic something coil or I'm not really sure. So I would completely hack it up if I tried to explain it, but it's supposed to amplify the frequency, I would say, effect broadcast. I've been looking through the information that Helios sent me over, and it's recommended not to use it indoors, on airplanes, around animals right now, like really just take it really slow. So yeah, that's just my nickel.
Wow. Lucky you that you got selected. Anybody else here get selected? I mean, there are 300 people out of 100 million users, and boy, that was lucky for me to ask you. I didn't even know that.
It's almost a little bit mean, though, Zach. They make you stop using Healy for a while before you get to use it.
Oh, I know. I'm on day 3 and I'm seriously needing, it's kind of like needing a cigarette. Like I need my Healy.
Yeah.
So, and I'm super gullible also. So like that's amplified. Like you hit it just right on this, John. Like, gosh.
Well, if anyone didn't get the email, they did send out a brochure that goes over what the Healy coil is in a little bit more detail as well. I think from layman's term, I think most of us what we believe in what they're marketing as is Healy gone wireless, right? And that's huge. I mean, if there's one thing that I hear over and over again, it's like, oh man, I wish this thing could do this without wires, right? So I think it's going to be a really good thing for Healy moving forward, and it's going to allow people just to run more programs during the day. And that's, you know, I'm looking forward to that personally. I'm a little mad now that I didn't get chosen for the 300, but I'll
I rolled the dice, I guess. Like I don't know how it happened.
Well, that's good.
I can see if I can throw that. Did anyone not get that email? Let's see if I can.
We have not heard. I saw Hun asked it. Does anyone know the cost of the Healy coil yet? We don't know. That's going to be coming out in June. Is when they say that it's going to be available. So that's what we know. You know, on that part.
I just popped in the chat if anyone wants and didn't receive that. I popped in the flyer for the Healy coil as well. More feel free to open it up, download it, and save it to your computer as well.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay. The other thing it says has what other question? Okay, and Sarah, Paul's wife, said he'd go crazy 14 days without. Nice to have your wife in there, bus
Correct.
stops, right?
It's absolutely correct.
Yeah, and Lars or Rachel are saying that they've heard the coil is simply like running the vibrations on the Blue Dot app. I've heard that, and I've also heard there's a little bit of a difference on that, in that when I asked my time waiver therapist this question, because that's a good question, that's what I was trying to think of too, Rachel, is when we go through, like we can vibrate and we can hit somebody from like here to Paris or here to, you know, Melbourne, Australia, going at that field. That's where the Blue Dot app is operating at that, and they call that more the information field. And then as we get closer in here, and they call that's more like the emotional field or the physical field, where that part of our aura is more closely and densely can be measured. It's hitting that field, and because it's so close to us, apparently that I don't fully understand it yet, and I want to make sure I'm giving good information, but that we can actually, you know, potentially even feel those kind of vibrations going in from the coil. But that's what I understand so far. That's been with there, but like you can't use at least I don't think so, that you can use the Healy coil to, like, you know, for me to vibrate it to you up there, you know, in Canada. You know, it's localized out. It might be interesting to see what happens if it gets amplified in that beautiful home up there of your guys, you know. You know, one other thing that we can go over that's new, that's just happened, that everybody, I don't know if they're aware of it, if they've been playing with their Blue Dot, but Healy put another program on there for us, the digital nutrition. And if you have, you know, I can show, what's interesting, what I've noticed with it, it takes a long time when it does the analysis, both to run it and then actually to produce a report.
And that analysis, John, Healy made that change a couple weeks ago. So when we analyze ourselves, they actually lengthen that time period to better analyze our bioenergetic field. So that was purposeful that Healy did that. So when we scan our aura, or we scan one of the program pages, it actually scans us for, I think, 10 seconds now, I believe it is.
Okay. And do you know, maybe I haven't done it to notice the difference between doing it on digital nutrition and then running it, let's say, on a scan on, you know, Healy Gold Cycle or pain or thing. But it seemed to me when I was doing it on the digital nutrition that it took a long time. And especially once it got done with its scan for the analysis, I sat here before running it tonight because I thought, okay, I'll demo it in case people haven't seen that to find out how it took.
Can you demo it? Because
Pardon?
I feel like this is another one of your April Fool's jokes, but I know it's not, because I have not seen it yet. It's
You haven't seen digital?
No. So yeah, I'd love to see a demo personally of it.
Yep.
I concur, it's real.
All right. So there's
Oil
the
too.
result. So here's a result I just ran tonight. So it pops up here, this is what it popped up for me and what I needed, but I'll actually go from the start and do it again. But it took up these. Now, I haven't even had any alcohol or anything to drink in, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks. I haven't even had a beer or anything. But what that is, it's a grouping of vitamins that are within that category that maybe they're also aware that can get depleted by alcohol. And that's what I learned to understand in that grouping. But anyway, so this is what came up for me, but I'll go through and I'll run it. Okay. You know what? Maybe what I'll do is, and I'll just do it for me. I'll just do it. It'd be kind of funny to see what it says the group needs. Why don't we do that? What the heck?
John, did you fix your coffee maker yet?
No, the coffee maker has not been fixed. Well, here, I'll just do me first and then because I have it going. So it comes up normal, like a normal Healy program. I'm on Blue Dot. What do I have the greatest resonance for? And then I'm going to do a database selection and then see it right there at the top, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
If I go to the bottom, you'll see the fountain of youth. Anyways, so I selected, that, and but you see right before I selected it, you see what it says in there in brackets 72.
Mhm.
That's why I was thinking it ran a little longer, because I thought there's 72 programs. It's almost like, well, Australian bush flowers, that's 68. But anyway,
Yeah,
so I'll
that's
select it.
very possible because some of those do take a little bit longer as well.
Yeah.
Maybe not from this when you touch it. I think you're probably right, but the initial vibration I was talking about, so when you record your own vibration, that's what's actually been lengthened out a little bit.
Okay, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40 basically. Now then,
We're also
that went really fast. You see how fast it compiled an answer? Earlier tonight when I did it, my first time doing that, it took over a minute. But anyways, that operates more like I expect it to operate. So anyways, so it pops up here, what programs, and again, now I have the digital nutrition on my Pink Dot. I bought that subscription. So it's a monthly subscription, before they even came out with this, where I could go through and select these categories and run it. Now I have a way to actually select which one do I need most. But now that I have this, I can, whoops, I just got rid of it. Let's go over here. I touched the wrong button. And I can vibrate that. So that's a way then that you can get these nutritional frequencies. And who was I just, oh, I know, I was listening to the guy who's the creator of the Deep Cycle programs. I learned this today. And what I'll do is maybe I'll send this out to everybody, because I think you would really value listening to Jan Frederick Polinsky, who's the creator of the Deep Cycle programs. He said that vitamin C has one of the reasons why it's so good is it has a lot of negative electrons within its charge, within its frequencies. And that is sort of like, it's a sense simulating grounding, but it's like the grounding effect that does so well with you with the vibration. So he was talking about when you vibrate stuff, you can vibrate in these frequencies that help create our electron energy to simulate what's actually in a vitamin C tablet. And then he was talking, so it was a very interesting video to listen to somebody who's been working with these frequencies for 11, 12 years. And especially because the guy created the Deep Cycle programs.
Interesting.
But in this way here, but he still said you have a need to take the physical. It's not something that you would throw away your vitamins or supplements just yet. So I don't know if I fully grasped that, but there's something about the physical part that you get, and then there's this vibrational aspect.
And I've heard people talk on that as well, John. And from my understanding, what they've done some tests, and what it looks like. He said the same thing. He's like, I wouldn't get rid of my vitamins, but what I've noticed is that the absorption of my vitamins seems to be more beneficial when taking the vitamin frequencies, right? And I think
Yep.
that's where he saw a big difference, which is great either way, because I mean, a lot of us probably don't absorb a lot of the vitamins we take.
Yep.
They just don't make it, they don't make it into our bloodstream to give us that benefit. And if we can absorb them better and utilize those vitamins better, it's gonna be more beneficial. So thanks for that. I have not seen that yet. Maybe I should check for an update.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of making sure you're connected to your cloud. So if you don't know how to do that with your connecting to your cloud, and maybe how to do a backup master key. So if you look at my screen here, if you haven't done this before, you see the little gear wheel here. Well, if you play with that, that comes into some of your basic settings. So over here, I can come in here and touch in here. So obviously you can look at your language settings. Okay, I'm going to stick with English. I'm not too good at Chinese yet, so stick with that. My cloud settings. This has got my information. It's got my password in here. If you need to make a master key, if you lost it, this is where you would go to create a backup master key. So here it would be, I could download your master key. I come over here, it saved the master key. It'll generate master key, and people go like, well, why do I need another master key? Well, if you've got two different devices that you're using your Healy with, if you're using it with your phone, and then you've got a tablet, and you want to have your client information be exactly the same across both of those platforms, you would want to have the same master key. That's just the key that they have. So, Healy stores a database of all of our contact information up in the clouds. And with that, and they do that through the key. So if you only use your device on a single platform, a single phone or a single thing, then, you're basically covered with that. It's nice just to have a backup in case you lose your phone. Then when you get your new phone, you won't lose all your contacts. So that's kind of a usability issue that we have there. So in this case here, I'm already good to go. I don't need to do it any further, but you see I can copy it. I can save it to the files. I can save it to Dropbox, documents. I can email it to myself over there. I got the ability to add email. So that's that piece. Now where was it? I was looking for you, Paul. There's use mobile data for sync. So there I can say I want to use I don't know why that was turned off. Well, I don't have mobile data on this iPad, but I've got it selected for automatic sync. And down at the bottom, see here where it says sync changes. This might be where you might want to check.
Well, last time I ran this, John, it was actually updating as I ran it. So it may be on there now. I haven't checked it yet. That could be the issue. I mean, it's honestly probably not even an issue. It'll be there. I'm not worried about it.
Well, it's either this one here where it says manages your list. So you can see right now it's going through a download. It's downloading my list, right?
Yep.
And or the other way is going to either the Play Store on Google or the App Store and downloading your bit to get that.
Yep.
So we don't need to see that as it continues to sync. I think that was there anything else there to show? I mean, I can go to the website. I can contact it if you want to write Healy. Where their information is. You may not have known that you had that. They got if you didn't know it, you can get the manual over here. I mean, they got some pretty cool features here that I hadn't played with before. So I can come over here and it'll download my Healy manual. Right here, it's right there on my iPhone or my iPad or manual, but I've got that, access to that. I can get training videos. What it does there, it connects me back out there over here to this website here and say I don't know how to do something. I don't know how to save a master key. I don't know how to download and create. What is an aura analysis? So I don't know if anybody really knew this before, that they had all this training material at the back of their Healy. So again, how did I get there? Let me go back. I'm going to go back to my Healy. And so you see the little gear wheel down here in the bottom. It happens to be spinning right now because mine's doing a sync. That's why it's spinning. But when I touch that gear wheel, because we know when we do the lightning bolt here, that's where we get the, we can do our resonance analysis. So I hit here and I go, oh my God, training videos. I didn't know that. Look at all this stuff that I can get on training videos. And you can see they're all kind of short, minute, 47 seconds. Has anybody watched these videos from here before? Or did anybody not know about them? I'm just kind of curious. Type in the chat if you didn't know about it. This is something good that helped you out and that you didn't know before.
I think most people may know they're in the back office, but that, I've looked at them. It's just it's better than it used to be. I'll say it was a little bit clumsy at times to access them from there, but it looks like you handled it with, I typically go with my back office, but they have the same ones there. Oh, do we get, just to touch on bracelets? I think Zach, you might have, it looks like you handled it. I've been seeing people get their new bracelets. I think they must be shipping now. I got an email less than a week ago stating that your new bracelets are on the way. So I would assume people would start getting them in their hands very, very shortly if they haven't seen them already. And from what I understand is that some people are seeing them actually come with a digital brochure as well. So they're not only receiving the bracelets, they're also getting the digital brochure in the mail.
Yeah, let's check. I think my mom, didn't you just get yours? Didn't you
I
just
did.
today?
I did. Yes.
And
And it came with a little DVD program.
okay.
It was like a book, and you opened it and it was telling you things, but I don't know how good it was. I thought it was more if you were in the business of selling something rather than for a user. That was
Yeah,
just,
it is. That is the purpose behind it.
yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's good feedback. Well, and then so for you on that, Mom, or anybody else more for a user, well, now you at least to know where to go for some of the training videos over here for training videos.
Hey, John, real quick question. Will you, since you're on and sharing, we have a couple new people on tonight. Can you jump over to the Pink Dot app and kind of scroll through and just outline some of the program pages that Healy has to
Sure.
offer, just so we can touch base on that tonight?
Okay. Yep. Okay. So the first thing that I got to do to get over there is just for the new users, you got to kill the app. So I'm on an iPhone. I'm on an iPad iPhone. So I have to touch my app and then I can send it away. And the reason I do that is because I have a Bluetooth connection on my, that's right, on this virtual background. Oh, well, sorry about that. But with a virtual background, I guess that kind of screws up. But I have the Bluetooth connection is running, so I have to disconnect it.
So just for
Now my-
anyone that is new tonight too, what John just closed out and what he's been showing us is part of the resonance model Healy. So what he was doing is the Healy also has the ability to send remote frequencies to basically anyone in the world's information field. And that's the app he was in there. That is with the resonance model Healy. What he's going to now is called the Pink Dot app. And these are microcurrent apps that work directly with your physical body through electrodes. And there's a lot of different program pages within these apps as well.
So every once in a while, like you just witnessed on me, I was having difficulty connecting, and so I'm just doing a quick little reset, and then I'm going to restart my thing. We have had these little problems with Healy, and a lot of us now know how to take care of it. So I just experienced that. I can let you know this, since we are seeing it and we watched this just happen to me. What Healy's doing, I'm aware of what they're doing. They're aware of this issue. of these connection issues that we have. And so what people aren't aware of, these apps that we have, they were written essentially 5 years ago. This old code technology, which is kind of interesting. So this is really good to see what happens. So they wrote and created these programs, both the pink dot and the blue dot. Wow, this is really taking a while. This is interesting. So what they did here is they've recognized they support about 37 different platforms.
John, try searching for another Healy. It might be your Bluetooth.
Okay. Maybe I have to go through and just put the serial number in. But
Yeah.
what they've done while Paul's helping me out trying to get connected to my Healy here. See, that's what I go to for technical support. Okay, let's go here. Let's see if I can scan.
There you go.
Okay, this is interesting. This will show me the no programs for a second. I'll have to reload the programs.
I wonder if you didn't do an update.
Yeah, could be. So anyways, now we're getting the full deal of how to do an update.
Also, if you click the three bars in the left-hand corner, it opens up all the programs.
Yeah, but in this case here, I knew that part that it was, they weren't going to be there on this here. I just had this experience before with a different one of my Healys. I got a few Healys. So what I was trying to say about them rewriting the app. So the apps, pink and blue dot app, to kind of net it out, it's written on 5-year-old technology. That 5-year-old technology, the reason they've been having so many problems is one is their success, and then they have like 37 different platforms they support. iPhone 4, iPhone 5, iPhone 6, iPhone 7, iPhone 10, iPhone 11, 12, 13, 14, and then the S version, that this version. Then they've got the different Androids, the Motorola's, and it was very brittle. And then as each one does something with Bluetooth, whatever, it was just very creaky. They fixed one thing in one, put out the fix, and it broke something in one of the others. So there is new software code that works on these platforms on over there that they can write where they can better manage all that complexity. So they have at Healy, here I'm just going to net out for you, they got a whole bunch of programmers fixing the leaky boat. And the leaky boat is the 5-year-old technology on the pink and the blue dot. And they've got a whole nother set of programmers rebuilding those programs in a modern programming language that makes it easy for them to kind of go do that. So that's what they're doing right now. So I have a program from one of those things that's called Heal Advisor that's written in that new programming language. I have never had a problem with it since last October. Never crashed, never.
Your update timed out, just so you know.
Okay, what do I need to, got it. So anyway, so you get to experience my little bit of, Healy's aware that sometimes we get these frustrations. So this is kind of real.
Why you do that, John? If you want to, I can maybe just pull open some of the the different programs within.
Maybe we do that. Maybe I think there were a couple people that had some sharings on what they've had over the week too, Paul. We could do that as well. We're waiting for
that's fine. Feel free.
What I'll do is I'm going to cancel it. I mean, I'm not going to cancel. I'm going to let it update, but I'm going to pull away the screen sharing so it's easier to see everybody. So whoever's talking, I can get rid of. I'm going to stop screen sharing for a moment, and I'll come back once I get my thing back. And who would like to have? Does anybody have something they would like to share?
Well, I'll share really quick. My 9-year-old daughter won the elementary school science fair with using Healy. So she applied Healy to a couple different plant trials. She did ryegrass and she also did radishes. And what the Healy did was just phenomenal. And all she did was basically put half the seeds into the Blue app, and then she basically ran a scan once a day, vibrated the frequencies for 1 minute and 20 seconds to that intended seed client, and we saw 75% germination gains on the radish seeds just by running a Healy. They grew right next to each other, same soil, same water, same light, same everything. And
Zach, you don't
I mean,
have,
largely didn't even have.
I
What's
saw
that?
I saw the pictures your wife posted.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have one of those to share, do you? To share? I
Got it.
thought it was unbelievable. Like I looked at the
I
two,
will.
that's awesome.
Yes, I will. I'm so unsavvy with this
I got
Zoom,
it.
so you'll have to excuse me, but I will gladly share those pictures with the group. Maybe I could just send them to you and John, and you guys can distribute them. But
Yeah,
the ryegrass, you can just, it's undeniable. And the same with the radishes. I mean, the vigor and the growth was just incredible. There, yeah, thank you. That's it.
What frequency did she use?
She did all Healy scans, and then just kind of bounced back and forth between the amino acids and the Schussler salts. That's what I told her to work with. So yeah, we saved them all. So we have a hard copy of all of the scans that we did. I think it was a 15-day trial, and it just was incredible how much faster. What you see in this picture here, they've already been up potted. So it's kind of hard to tell the difference between the two, but on her poster board there, you can really see yep, you can really see the difference. Yeah.
So this is the one on the right versus the one on the left. Is that what?
Correct. Yep. So they were out of the Jiffy pots 75% faster. As you can see, they just completely stood erect. Like the other ones just fell right over right away. The pot on the left, but same seeds, same amount of seeds per Jiffy pot, same watering schedule, same light, same everything. The only difference was a 9-year-old ran a scan up to twice a day, once or twice. It was always twice a day, always an all Healy scan. And then, like I said, just kind of varied between amino acid and Schussler salts, just to get kind of an idea of the nutrient response that we were getting. But yeah, that's simple.
Yeah, that's the picture that blew my mind. I mean, such a cool project anyways. And for someone, 9 years old to be that interested and do something like that. I mean, I can see, I can see winning at doing something like that. It was just really cool.
I thought there was another
Yeah,
picture.
thank
Is there
you.
a picture in there, Zach, on Autumn's page? I mean, I'm not trying to scroll through her Facebook going through here, but wasn't
No,
there
that's
another one? Or is this the one? This is the best.
Yeah, she-
That's kind of the main compilation. I'm sure probably about 6 weeks back, there was some more as well. And I'll definitely share the rye. We did 2 flats of rye grass seed, and we did the same thing. We just split the seeds in half, and it just turned out great.
So it was on blue resonance, or was it a pink with the cables?
It was on blue resonance, no cables.
So how did the other seeds know not to pick up the frequency?
We just defined one set of seeds is all we did. We just split the seeds in half by weight on the ryegrass. And then we actually individually counted the seeds on the radishes, and we just defined it. She named them octopus because she loves octopus. So when you went into the Blue app, it was literally, you went to octopus radish or octopus rye, and that's it. There's
Wow.
no other difference.
Oh, that's incredible. Thanks
Yeah.
for sharing that. That's just awesome.
Of course. Yeah, this is a game changer for our gardens this year, folks.
Mm.
Okay, I'm gonna get out of there. I'm still not having success. Okay, so I'm turning on my Healy again, so we'll see what happens.
Did you, I was going to say, did you try to just manually reset it? Okay.
Yep, I'm gonna try that again. So I just turned it off. What I'll do is I'll kill the.
So Zach, do you
Yes.
think then that you could do this with your animals without having to buy the pet package? It just focuses a resonance with your animals the same way?
Absolutely. And that was the whole impetus of Opie, my daughter's hypothesis for this project was it works so well for humans and animals. Why wouldn't this work for plants? And that's, yeah, we have pets that we've been using it on since we got it initially. We've alleviated skin disorders. We have a rabbit that got into a nasty sort of infestation with ticks and chiggers at 2 different occasions, and she got really sick. And we were able to just, again, send the blue frequency directly to them as we have them stored in the blue app as clients. And then we've done this for other people's animals as well. We've done some events where like dog rescue events, and we've brought several pets out of like anxiety attacks, basically.
Mhm.
In those situations, and ideally we clip it to them, like on their collar. We'll put the device on their collar. But again, as we all know, I mean, if you locate that frequency signature of theirs in the client portal, then you can just send that frequency directly to the animal, to the plant, to the person, conceptually.
Yeah, and I've had really good success with animals too. I mean, what's great about animals, and I don't have the animal package. I typically just run normal frequencies out of the Blue Dot app as well. And we've had some really good success stories with our animals, and one that we recently lost, and a story about having to take her to the vet, and one of her tumors actually busted open, and ran some deep cycles on her before we did that. And we were on our way to the vet, and we kept running this deep cycle on her that came up, and actually on the way to the vet where we thought we were gonna have to put her down, it actually stopped bleeding. It was pretty crazy. And she ended up living for months longer. I mean, obviously it got the better of her, where the tumor grew up into her midsection, and it was cutting off blood supply. But what's great about animals is you can see the effect, because there's no placebo effect in animals, right? It either works or it doesn't. Where we understand that sometimes, but they don't get it. So it's really cool to see it on animals. And I've only used it on dogs, but I've heard amazing stories, especially on horses as well. There's some really good ones out there. Yep. Does anyone else have anything to share, or questions, or wanted to see anything else? I think, I don't know, John, if you're still working on some
Hi there.
technical. Hello.
Hi.
So you got the shopping cart to work? Great. It's a Visa 4147
Okay, Teresa.
2022.
Oh,
Teresa, we're hearing your
Hold
credit
on,
card.
let me get my pen.
826.
let's mute Teresa here. Hold on, there we go.
I can't get my pink dot to connect. Can you say that again, Teresa?
Said something about big.
Oh. So does anyone have anything else, or any recommendations for maybe next week? I mean, I think maybe we go over some of the programs again. I know we had a few new people on tonight. Whether they're users or not yet, but I know going over some of those programs, there's so much to cover. And I know we haven't done every program page yet and gone through what each one is supposed to do to our bioenergetic field. We've done probably 2 or 3 so far, guys, I think. So maybe continue down that path. Does anyone have any recommendations or would like to hear about some of them?
Well, I have just in that vein, I have a friend down here, Phyllis, who's just joined up. She got the second program package, and she's really brand new and has, that hasn't even got her unit yet.
Mhm.
But I was wondering when Marcus was talking about sending out new leads, the gold ones instead of the silver. Well, do you think the new packages will get the gold, get the new upgrade?
I
Anybody know?
I couldn't answer it with 100% certainty. I don't know if anyone else can.
I don't know what upgrades specifically.
Well, I just wondered if you had to be in a resonance program to get the upgrades, or if the
No.
other packages will too.
Upgrades as far as what? As far as the hardware, the bracelets, the electrodes, things like that, do you mean?
Well, that and any of the programs, you know.
Well,
Yeah, I
the
mean, the program's
coherent-
all based upon what level you bought, yes. But as far as the hardware is concerned, each Healy receives the same hardware with the electrodes, with the bracelets, and then a charger, and then the Healy.
Mhm.
So the Healy as a unit is it's the exact same if it's a gold unit or if it's a resonance unit. It's the package you purchase, the software behind it.
Right.
So if she got the holistic health, oh, John, you're in it now, so you can actually
Yep.
show us.
Yeah. So you want me to just kind of go through the programs, Paul, for,
Yeah, just kind of show, what each, we don't have to explain them all, just to kind of see what's in there, from, the gold cycle, learning, fitness, mental balance. I mean, it does so many different things, very compact version. I know we're about there on time, so.
so we got the gold programs, and really we don't need, I mean, we may have a lot of frequencies, but the gold, these are like really super good programs. I mean, you can't go wrong. If you just stayed here for a couple months, you would experience so many benefits with the gold cycle programs.
Back when I was allowed to use Healy, I still use at least one gold program a day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're pulling from the greatest bank, is from the way I understand it, the greatest bank of frequencies when you work within the gold, the
They're
7 gold
very broad,
programs.
from physical to mental to, emotional. I mean, it's everything within those, and each program is specified, which we can send out those sheets that we sent out a few weeks ago that explains, each one.
Yeah.
But just to get an idea, John, of how many programs there are within there, you can even scroll through them. We don't have to.
Yeah, okay. Go
explain them.
back. Okay. So there we go. We got learning programs for memory. I actually have used that when I've had difficulty concentrating, and I have noticed that it did help me. So that's a quick testimonial there. The fitness programs, I can definitely tell you I've had positive effects with that on working out, at a gym with, think of like one of those machines that actually.
I did. Mom.
Paul told me about activation, right?
Love it. Yeah, love it.
Anyway, so this gives
Very
you,
clear.
they call it job, but it really, these are things in your active life that you may use. Like, okay, I'm tired, I'm fatigued, let me do that. Or exhaustion, these kind of things to help bounce you back. Mental balance. I've had to use this a lot. That's what Paul's told me to run a lot.
There's some very strong programs in there. I mean, for just a really Zen feel. I mean, I've heard testimonials on these that really range. I mean, it's a very broad spectrum from a mental side. So.
Yep. And we got the skin beauty programs, scar programs over here. I can definitely report that, I've had my hairstylist tell me that I'm getting more hair and thicker. So that's kind of interesting.
Some of the names of these have really changed over the last few months
They
too.
have.
Like the acne program is now called Skin Impurities, which I will admit it is an excellent program for eliminating a unwanted zit. Right there.
Oh,
in
really?
the
Okay. I didn't know that.
Skin impurity systemic. Yep. That was acne. And that's such a great program.
Wow. Okay. Thanks for that, Zach.
Yeah. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Chilling used to be cold, I think,
Yep.
like an immune system one.
Yep.
Eyes, boy, I've injured my eyes very badly, and that program it's like if you catch it within a narrow window of time, and a lot of practitioners will tell you that that work in the frequency space. If you catch an injury or post surgery within like 3 or 4 hours, you can really jettison the whole healing process. And I would attest to that in the eye program from an eye injury I had last summer. I had my Healy on me, thank goodness, and my phone on me, of course. So I just went right to the eye program, 60 minutes, and the pain was eliminated. The redness was eliminated. I'd say 75% from one program. And in a matter of 2 programs, my eye was, you would have never known anything went jammed into my eye and scratched it. So
Wow, very cool.
it's so fun that way.
Yeah, so I see a couple in the chat. Smoking cessation. There is one in the mental balance that is actually, the program is actually designed for that. And it is help me out here. I think it's contentment. I believe it is. I have to, let me double check really quick.
Okay. I'll continue to scroll through while you double check. I didn't know that, Paul. Thanks.
But for smoking, there's and I'm sure John and Paul, and for those of you who are maybe new to the group, there are practitioners who make custom programs. My wife's a hypnotherapist, so she works with a lot of people that want to quit smoking and lose weight. So she actually has 2 custom programs that you're able to upload into your Pink app for those 2 specific things. And they're like $40. I mean,
yeah.
Easy.
And it's for it's contentment systemic and contentment acute. And actually in the outline of the programs, which is this little sheet that we can all download, it actually says that right in there. So just
Nice.
those are the questions I see. And then there's another one for thyroid. There is a thyroid program that, John, you'll get to here shortly.
Back up one.
You went by it.
One more. There it is at the bottom.
Down in the bottom
There
corner.
it is, right? Yeah.
Bottom left.
And that one's good for smoking?
No, that's for the thyroid. There's another question on here about thyroid.
Oh, okay.
That one's specifically designed for that. There's also the sciatica. You see that I hear wonders about that. There's also one on the pain program for sciatica pain as well. So
Will they be similar or different?
to be honest, I haven't ran the one other than when I have a low back. I've ran the pain one before, which works really, really well for the pain. I don't know for sure if they're using different frequencies, because the pain is more of a narrow band of frequencies to deal with the pain from sciatica. I'm guessing this one deals more with the bioenergetic balance of the sciatica nerve, and to maybe resolve some of the issues there.
You have anything with glaucoma or cataracts?
We'd have to look in the eye program to see if they have that, but that would probably be something too that I could go look into from the TimeWaver machine I have, or I could create a custom program for somebody that they could acquire. I created a custom program for Paul on his back that he acquired from me.
Which
So
has
I
been
don't know.
awesome. It has been the greatest thing on the Healy since I got the Healy. That program, it's been wonderful. I run it daily, a lot.
We didn't hear what you said. What did you run daily?
The one of the programs that John and I worked through, he created for me for my Healy. From my past fibromyalgia stuff, I've had from neck down to my low back, I've had a lot of muscular pain, and he developed a program, put it in my Healy for me, and I run it daily. And it's helped such a great deal. But again, when just to touch on again, I get people ask me all the time about really direct questions. So what about this ailment? What about this ailment? And I always come back to the point, like, I don't think of Healy as this game changing. It's a medical device, yes, but it's not to say, hey, I have glaucoma. Can the Healy heal it? I mean, we don't want to say that because the Healy's not intended to heal it. I really believe that the Healy is a support tool to to really unlock our body's natural ability to heal itself through frequency. I mean, when our frequencies are off, our body becomes ill, right? And it really balances those frequencies again in our body, so our body's not ill anymore. So I never say, well, it's going to heal this, but will it help you balance those energetic imbalances in your body? Absolutely.
Okay, well, that's all the programs over there that I've gone through, so that everybody's see all the programs on the for the that are available from Healy for the pink dot. So is there anybody else? Because you asked me to kind of share this, Paul, or
Yep.
somebody, user to anybody else that has a question.
So I have another
on
question in the chat, basically life troubles, relationship specific struggles, um, going back to a lot of what the mental balance programs are. It really works well with some of those daily issues that we have, whether it be, um, if it's just, if it's grief, or if it's just you're having an off day, you just get out of bed and you're just not in that mood you typically are. They have a lot of good programs for that. And quite honestly, the programs that are in that mental balance, you necessarily don't even need them, because the one thing that I always say this is the one thing that I've gotten out of the Healy that I didn't expect. I bought the Healy for pain. And I was blinded by just that. And that's what I wanted. If there's one thing that I received from this amazing little machine is just a zen like feeling all the time. Like I just feel balanced mentally, right? I'm happier. I have more energy. I go into each day just feeling better, right? And I think that's one thing that maybe you don't even notice. And John and I go into detail and we talk about this a lot. We don't notice it as people, but when people outside influences say, man, there's something different about you. Well, then you start seeing it and you're like, oh, yeah, I guess I do think that way now. So it's even changes that you may not see on that daily basis.
Yeah, and also where is it? I was trying to think of is she still on here? No, it looks like she dropped. I'll just give a brief thing, and then maybe next week, if you have this question, Jennifer. She was running the coherence program. She had the other individual running the coherence program. They had a sticky issue, and they were running the coherence issue, and they decided from this relationship they need to kind of go resolve and work through their sticky issue. And they came to more like a kumbaya moment as they both were running the coherence program. And she was saying that she was just kind of blown away by how easy it was to resolve this sticky issue that they had. So this was a relationship issue over there. So I see Hun has a question. Has anyone, so this is like to the group over here, and anybody else can pipe in here. I mean, the three of us are not the only people that have experience to share there. But so if anybody else has this, but Hun's asking, has anybody run the lymphatic system under Meridian 2, and anybody have any experience on that? Okay, Paul.
Go ahead, Zach.
Zach.
I mean, nothing really significant in terms of, I guess, a noticeable experience, other than that I'm aware of the lymphatic system. I'm aware of, I've turned to it when I've had those sort of lymph node cysts. Like I had one in my armpit and one like right here on my jaw this summer. I don't remember what kicked it off, but I went right to the lymphatic system. And I mean, within 2 days, within 2 days, those little cysts were just completely gone, which sometimes, a person has them for weeks to a month. So
I have the same story, Zach, that you do. It's the exact same thing. And I know what triggers mine. It's done it for years, and it's allergies. You know, when I get a sinus infection, I haven't had one thankfully in a long time, but I always, you know, especially under the armpit, it always became inflamed and tender, and that's been a really good one. So same exact experience. It's kind of neat to actually match that exactly what you said. So
I like this question that John and Brenda are doing. Can you talk about that, John?
Sure. Okay, I'll go ahead. I was just letting those guys talk. So the question was, somebody who said that they're having a problem with their Healy, that once it hits approximately 50% of battery life left, it won't work, and then they have to recharge it. So it's only going to a 50%. What I have found, and there might be another one, there might be another issue. I've just done a hard reset on my Healy, and so what that basically means, I hold the power button down, and I hold the power button down for approximately 10 seconds. And then the behavior that I see from Healy, after about 10 seconds, the green light comes on solid. And I can release my finger from the power button. That green light will stay on for about 3 seconds, and then it'll turn the Healy off. And what the Healy's done then is done a hard reset of its little memory in there.
Mhm.
And then turn it back on, and then charge it.
yep. And
That's what I heard.
literally don't. One thing I've learned, depending on how you charge it, I mean, they really recommend not charging your Healy overnight. So try not to do it if you're doing it. But that little percentage up there in that pink dot corner, when you're reading the percentage, don't take it to heart, because it's not correct. It never has been. Even when I first used the Healy, I mean, sometimes it would, you know, when I first started, it'd only go down to 20%, and then it would, you know, it'd blink really fast and shut off. And if it blinks really fast and shuts off, you know it's your battery. But I wouldn't take that little percentage to heart in the upper right hand corner when you're running the programs. And you'll start to learn that as you use your Healy more and more. You'll understand that. You understand your Healy. You almost get to know it as it knows you. So you'd be like, "Ooh, I'm at 47%. That means I'm pretty low," because you just know how it acts. It's not that it's actually running less time. It's just that percentage that I found wasn't real accurate in it.
Okay, well, are there any other questions? Otherwise, we've run a little bit over tonight. Or does anybody have any story that they'd want to share? Otherwise, we can, pause it for tonight, and we'll see you in a week. And pretty soon in a week or so, or as I get more competent in it, one of these times I'll do a little time waiver sharing on it. But I want to make sure I'm really kind of competent when I bring
You guys are in for a fun night when that happens. It's pretty exciting.
But anyone here individually, some of my friends here on there, you can give me a contact and we can, do a Zoom over there. So anyways, that's kind of it for tonight. I can't think of anything else. Anybody have anything else? Otherwise, we'll just say so long.
Have a good night, everyone. We will see you next week. And Zach, did you have something?
I was just gonna say, I would say 2 to 3 weeks from tonight, I'll have my coil and I'll be able to use it for the study. So I'll be ready to share it. So yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Excellent. Yeah, it will be. All right.
Well,
Well, don't forget to send everybody some good juju when you get it, okay?
You bet. The whole world's getting it, whether they like it
All
or not.
right, awesome.
We all need
Please.
Well, everyone have a happy Easter.
Yeah.
Easter.
Happy Easter, everybody.
All right, see you, everybody.
Next week.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.